welcome back to the Pokemon Game Show at Anime St. Louis 2014. We have to say goodbye to Isabel. She came on strong at the end, but unfortunately didn't quite get there. So that means that we have 3 players remaining. We have Nick, we have Chris, and we have Kiana, and they are going to play our second round, which is called the Evolution Match, which is everyone's favorite. And you guys hopefully will like it too. Before I explain it though, we have a toss-up. So fingers on buzzers, players, and get ready to buzz in. It is a trivia question, and it reads as follows. In the anime, what Pokemon did James purchase while traveling on, yes Chris? On the St. Anne. Magikarp is the right answer, yes. And how did that work out for you, James? How did that work out for you, James? He thought it would be tasty. All right. Chris, you have control of the board. Here's how the game works. Now there are pictures of Pokemon hiding behind the 30 numbers. And they all appear within an evolutionary chain. And all of the Pokemon within the chain touch. So, for example, if there were a Charmander behind number 10, that means that there's a Charmeleon behind either 4, 9, 11, or 16, touching it only on the horizontal or the vertical. And there'll be a Charizard that is on the horizontal or the vertical, touching one of those two, either straight up and down, side to side, or in an L. All right? Now your job is to open one of those doors and then find all the Pokemon that appear within that chain. There are no Megas up there, and there's no Eevee up there, because we're not going to be here all day. But I want you to be careful. Now, if you find all the Pokemon within the chain, you capture all of them. But be careful, because there's something else lurking up there on the board as well. Should you happen to find a Team Rocket square, if you have caught any Pokemon up to that point, somehow they steal one. And just for the sake of argument, Pikachu appears nowhere on that board. So Chris, you have control of the board. Start us off. Pick any number you want.
Let's do 2.
Number 2. All right. So we're starting off with. Okay, there is a Dragonair. So you're looking for a Dratini and a Dragonite, and you'll get them all. And remember, they all touch.
Let's do 8.
Number 8, and behind number 8, we find the Dragonite. Okay, 1 in 5 chance of completing this chain and getting on the board.
So they don't go in order.
I can't tell you that. They might not. They just all touch.
They don't necessarily go in order.
They don't necessarily go in order.
Let's do 3.
Number 3, behind number 3, we find Rattata. There's a Joey in the audience. Is that yours? Now, the option of the game is to get 6 or be the closest to get to 6 when time runs out for this round. Now, you made a mistake, so we got to close them all up. The next person to get control can build off of that if they wish. So here we go. It's a Pokedex entry, and it reads as follows. Lives close to water. Its long tail is ridged with a fin, which is often mistaken for a mermaid's. Yes, Chris?
Melodic?
Incorrect. Nick or Kiana? Mermaid's tail.
I'm trying to think.
Anyone want to take a guess?
Hunt's tail?
No, that's incorrect. Nick, you want to guess?
Ooh, I may know.
Time. There's one in the audience.
Vaporeon?
It's Vaporeon. Yes.
I was like, well,
Yes. All right. We move
Looks
on.
how to play Vaporeon.
Okay. What comes before, players? What comes before slacking? Nick? Time. Kiana?
Vigoroth.
Vigoroth is right. That comes before slacking. Good. All right. Kiana, start us off. One, 2. All right, use your microphone if you don't mind, so we can hear you on the YouTube audience, and the audience can hear you. All right, you want to go next?
8.
Yep, we know that. Now, if your memory is good, you got 4 chances of finding Dratini. Where is it?
Lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7, behind lucky number 7. Fine.
I hate you, Team Rocket.
Now, I warn you, don't pick 7 again. We had someone once pick the same Team Rocket square 3 times in the same game. It has happened before.
What?
Now, players, players, we now have another trivia question, and it reads as follows. The Kalos region in Pokemon X and Y is based on the northern, and that's Chris,
France.
based on the northern part of what European country? France is the right answer, yes. Remember I said most of the questions in the first region, if they're not, it's usually something simple as that. So you have the board, Chris, where are you going?
A 1.
Number 1. Now if there is a Dratini behind number 1, you will be on the board for the first time unless you somehow forgot where the other two evolutions were. And there's Dratini.
Let's do 2 and let's do 8.
Yes, and there you go. You are on the board with 3. If you make it to 6, you are through to the next round. All right? So here we go. Now, the next question is a Dex entry, and it reads as follows. It uses its whiskers to maintain its balance and will slow down if they are cut off. Chris?
Rattata?
Incorrect. Deanna or Nick? Nick? Raticate. Yes, that is the Dex entry for Raticate. Well done.
They
Could
were
have been, yes, it could have been Meowth, it could have been Persian, it could have been any of the cats, but no, it's Raticate.
No, they get the- they
All
put it
right,
on the
Nick,
rack.
where do you want to start? Let's go with 10. All right, behind number 10, we find, Blastoise. All right, another 3 chain. That's good for Chris, because if you fail, he could go right on through the next round if he can pick up where you left off. Where to, Nick?
11.
Number 11, right next door. And there we find Kingdra. All right, so no success there, but those are both 3 chains. So here we go. Fingers on buzzers. It's a what comes before? Now listen carefully. What comes before Beautifly? Deanna.
Oh, nice.
Silcoon.
Is the right answer. Yes, Silcoon. Well done. Got the tricky bug one, and you are on the board. Where do you want to go?
6.
Number 6 in the corner, and there. So you hate Team Rocket, but Team Rocket apparently loves you. The good news is you haven't lost any Pokemon, just your turn. All right, we move on. Now, it's a trivia question, and it reads as follows. How many heads does a Duosian? Nick?
Ooh, that's
Incorrect. How many heads does a Duosian, Chris? 1. Yes, have 1 is the right answer. Yes. Trick question. So it's like, how many heads does a Pikachu have? Okay, Chris, you go through the next round if you find a 3 chain.
Let's do 4.
Number 4. Behind number 4, we find... Oh, okay, there's Wartortle. We know where Blastoise is. I hope you do anyway. How do you want to
Let's
play?
do 5.
Number 5. Behind number 5. Oh, there's the Squirtle.
Let's do 10.
And let's do 10. And there we go. So congratulations, Chris. You are through to the next round. You caught for 6. Now, when we get down to 2 players, we call it 5 questions to go in the round. Whoever is the closest to 6, the end of 5 questions, will move on. Now, we're out of trivia questions, so we're down to Dex entries and what come before questions, all right? We're going to start with a Dex entry. Remember, the first to 6 are the closest before we get to it. All right, here we go. Dex entry. The larger its petals, the more toxic pollen it contains. Yes, Nick?
Bloom.
Gloom is incorrect. I will read the whole thing for you, Kiana. You do not have to buzz in. The larger its petals, the more toxic pollen it contains. Its big head is heavy and hard to hold up.
Vileplume.
Vileplume is right, yes. Go for it, Kiana.
3.
Number 3. And
9.
9, and there we go. Anna, you're on the board and in the lead with 4 questions left to go. Next question is a what comes before, and it reads as follows. What comes before Mamoswine? Deanna.
Piloswine.
Pile of swine, yes, a big pile of swine. All right. Where are we going?
Let's do 30.
Number 30 in the corner. The corner was bad to you before. Let's see what happens this time. Good to you this time. Growlithe. 50-50 chance at Arcanine.
24.
24. Is that where he is? Yes, it is! You're now up to 4, and also, Kiana, this gives you what we call rocket insurance. Because even if you find another rocket, you're still one match away if you find a 3. So there we go. All right, so Nick, you have to get 2 more matches, which means it might be mathematically over for you after 2 more questions, depending on what happens. There are 3 questions left in this round. The third question, it's a dex entry, and it reads as follows. Rolls down slopes to move. It rolls over any obstacle without slowing or changing its direction. Deanna.
Golem.
Golem is incorrect. Can you tell me, Nick?
I'm going to guess Celio.
Celio is incorrect. No. Audience can tell me.
Donphan?
Graveler.
Oh!
Now, here is the situation. There are only 2 questions remaining in this round. Nick, you are down 4 Pokemon. The only way that you can win is by getting either this question right and finding a 3, and her finding a rocket on her next pull if she gets it right. If she gets this question right and doesn't find a rocket, there is no way for you to win. All right, so you need to get this question right. Here we go. What comes before, players? What comes before Jumpluff? Nick. Skiploom, right. Now, you must make a match in order to stay in the game. Where do you want to go? Number 13. Will it be lucky for you? Okay, Camerupt, Numel, and you probably have a 50-50 chance because I think you know what's behind one of those. Find Numel and you stay in the game. 14. If it's a Numel, you stay in the game. Otherwise, Anna moves on and joins Chris in the next round. Number 14, we find Numel! So here we go. You're down to the final question of this round. Kiana, if you get it right, it's elementary. You move on to the next round. Nick, you must get it right, and you must make a match. If it's a 3, you move on. If it's a 2, we play a tiebreak. Here we go. It's a dex entry, and it reads as follows. An enigmatic Pokemon that can effortlessly regenerate any appendage in Nick, it loses in battle. Staryu is correct. This is something that Ryan and Anti-Pressure Luck had yesterday. Now, Nick, you must find a match in order to stay in the game. If it's a 3, you win the next round. You go on to the next round. 19. Behind number 19. It's a which means that Kiana is through the next round.
Oh, I was like, oh, he's gonna get a rocket.
So close, Nick. So close. But unfortunately, that means that you have been eliminated and you are blasting off again.
Oh.
Let's give it up for Nick. Is going to have a shot at becoming the champion of ASTL. We'll find out who that'll be right after this. Stay tuned, YouTube.